Oh, I'm so discombobulated. I've put on the wrong intro. Hi, guys. Woo! I was fighting with my dogs. I am so sorry. They're in the. They're in. They're in. They're in. Okay. Um. Well, I'm so discombobulated. I've put on. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I am here because we have some stuff to talk about, and okay. I feel like if you haven't seen my video that I put up, you probably didn't because YouTube actually restricted my video. But I had put together this video with a bunch of clips that have been circulating on Twitter, and then just stuff that I had found on his channel. And sadly, I feel like we're talking about Shane Dawson here. So it's Friday night. Before we get started, I hope you guys have your drinks, your popcorn. I'm echoing. How am I echoing? I shouldn't be echoing. There's no way I can be echoing. I'm echoing. Yeah, I'm definitely not echoing. I just heard myself, so I'm not echoing. Okay, welcome. Sorry, need to get down. Okay, so the last few days have been like, oh gosh, no, it's just been the last weeks, like months. Like this last few months has been a lot. And since May, when we tragically lost George Floyd, things in the United States have not changed and people are done. And I just want to say, like, I am from Minnesota, and so we have been in the thick of this since everything happened. And, we're still dealing with it. And, we're still dealing with the fact that, like, we might not have police forces. Like, they literally just voted today to dismantle our police department in Minneapolis. And so, and then we still do not have justice for Breonna Taylor. And, there's just so much of this that's been going on. And I think necessarily and unnecessarily, a couple things have happened. I think we're rightfully asking people who have been repeatedly doing things that are really hurtful and really, really toxic to own up to it and to make and do the things that they need to do the right thing, right? We are asking people to take accountability and to own up and to apologize and all of these things. But there's some people I feel like does not matter what they would say, what they would do, or how they would respond, I won't forgive them. And I just don't think I can forgive Shane Dawson. I don't think that I could ever forgive Shane Dawson. I don't think that 10 years of toxic, repeatedly doing the same things over and over and over and over and over again is healthy, nor shows any sort of change. And the fact that he repeatedly aligns himself with people that are so problematic and terrible. His friends are Jeffree Star and Trisha Paytas, two of the most horrific people on YouTube that have done so much, that have caused so much hurt and damage to this community, all under the guise of content and not caring what it was that they put out. I mean, Trisha has hurt so many people this year I can't even go into it. I mean, she's always hurting someone. And like Jeffree has literally hurt everyone. Jeffree is the epitome of the most malignant narcissist and the most hurtful person on the planet. I can't think of a more evil human being than Jeffree when it comes to YouTube. So obviously there is this problem here, is that Shane Dawson wants us to ignore that there's 10 plus years of content that is still on YouTube that continues to hurt people. And the problem here is that he gets up on his channel and he apologizes, but it's not even addressing half of the things that he's done, nor really owning up to it, but instead excusing it with all kinds of different excuses. And I remember the first time I had to do an apology for something on this platform, and I remember people were so mad at me because I'd followed up with like a but. And like I tried to explain my behavior, and I feel like when you have to try to explain away your behavior, it's just not an apology. Like the only way you can truly be apologetic is to really just say, I'm sorry. Like there's no excuse. I'm sorry, right? That's it. There's literally no excuse. There's nothing for me to tell you that I had a childhood that was crappy, or that I'm a bad person, or that, I was a hurt person that just wanted to hurt everyone. None of that matters. None of it. I am a little bit older than Shane. So a lot of people were like, well, why do you give a flying brat's patootie about Shane? I care about Shane because his content is trying to reach children like mine. And he is trying to put out content that my son could still find on this platform. Because my son is 7.5, and he finds content creators that are like adults, but still cater to younger audiences that are still super respectful and completely unproblematic. He, like my son, I can think of a couple gamers that he follows that he is humongous fans of. He loves the Gaming Beaver. I think he's from the UK. And then he likes this guy named Pungence. I think And these two gamers are like two of the only gamers that we let him watch because they're adults that literally keep things very good for kids. And I think that, when you start to talk about what your audience is, what your target audience is, and what your, who you're trying to engage and get to watch you have to take that with a responsibility. So I don't claim to be a channel for kids at all. My channel is primarily adults, mostly women, mostly from the ages, I think from the average age on this channel of my followers is anywhere from, I think, 25 to 50. So most of you guys are women that are moms. So a lot of you probably feel like that I do. So when I was watching his apology, I was putting it in the context of my child. And I was thinking about how my son, if he accidentally hit the wrong button on YouTube, he could find some of this content that's literally still sitting on his channel that is so hurtful and so completely wrong. And it just completely, negates the fact that like he still has this content up. Oh, Maria says she's older. That's okay. So yes. So our Katie the Savage says if he's really going to change, then he needs to remove all of the old content. And I would 100% agree. He needs to get all of that content off of YouTube. He needs to not have it searchable. There are videos still up today where he is using the N-word, where he is using his face covered in paint, where he is using the F word, where he is using the R word, where he is normalizing being really awful to everyone. And the only thing I heard him say that I actually heard him say was that he can't believe that he's normalized this for such a long time. And this is the part that stuck in me. His audience is still going to believe him because he has normalized all of that. So they're going to say, well, he's sorry. He's changed. He's not doing that anymore. Because they are so used to seeing what he does that it's normal for them to hear those words, to see those actions, and they're desensitized to it. So I want to just pull up a little bit of his video. Why, Christy says, why won't he just delete that stuff? It makes me sad. Exactly. And that's the part of this problem is like, you can't say you're sorry and then still have the hurtful content up on YouTube. You can't. And then the other part that really upsets me is that when people like try to call him out, like I put up his clips, by the way, on my video, and YouTube literally demonetized me, even though I didn't say anything at all bad. And I clipped out all of his cursing and all of the racial things, and they still demonetized me. But those same clips are existing on that channel, fully monetized. It's crazy to me. So let me pull up his video. I gotta make my video smaller, sorry. All right. I just have to get this all situated, sorry. And I have my light right here. Okay. So I'm gonna start it around the time where I'm not gonna do everything, but he's gonna like kind of try to explain away. Now here's the thing that I don't like is that he apologized, but then he was like going into why he doesn't, like why he did these things. And I just, you know, he even admitted that like, oh, I can't believe I used to get up here and justify it because I shouldn't have done that. And then that's basically what he did in this video.
Every race, I made that decision. I said, oh, this is fun. Muted on Twitter. Mute. And I've talked about this before, but when I say I hate that person, I mean it in the most intense way possible. I hate that person so much. That person was filled with sadness, filled with anger about their own issues, in the closet, constantly projecting on others, just like, I don't know, just that person is someone who I don't like seeing. And I think that's why I've been avoiding this, because I'm like, no, I already apologized. I don't.
If he doesn't, here's the thing, you guys, he says, I don't like seeing him, but you can go onto his channel and you still see him. So if he doesn't like seeing him, why is it still on YouTube? Jenna Marbles legit got rid of so much content. She literally got rid of all of her old content because she did not want to hurt any people. He's sitting there going, I don't want to see that person, but I found that person over and over and over and over again on YouTube. So how do you not want to see that person, but it's on YouTube? I don't understand that. And why is YouTube allowing this kind of content? The thing about what I don't understand about Shane is they hold him to a standard that none of us other creators would ever be held to. We are not allowed to put that kind of stuff on our channels. We're not allowed to like even discuss those kinds of things, and his stuff is monetized. His stuff is still somehow within the community guidelines, which it should not be. Like, it's against community guidelines to put up hateful content. It doesn't make sense. Okay, let me continue.
I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it. Mute it on Twitter. Untag it on my Instagram. Like, I just don't. I hate that person so fucking much. Okay, so sorry. So first, let's start with blackface. Blackface was something that I did a lot. Like, I did it a lot on my channel. And there's no excuse for it. There's literally no excuse. I made a video 6 years ago talking about it.
My question here is that he says he made so many of these videos, yet you can still find all of these videos on YouTube. You can find his Shanae videos on YouTube. You can find videos of his raps on YouTube. Like, it's really it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating that all of this is still up. And it's, the fact that YouTube is still allowing this to be up is really disconcerting. It's really disconcerting. And I'm not here to cancel Shane. By the way, if you're in chat and you're saying that I'm being a drama channel, like, you're clearly not a subscriber, because people that follow me know that I try to stay objective and I try my best to always see both sides. But this is a case where I can't see both sides. There's no way for me to see both sides because it's a repeated pattern of behavior with no change. Okay, so I just want to, the other part I want to get to is...
And how it was created to make fun of black people, to make them feel wrong. I'm going to go on the defensive. And that's not a good way to live, and it's not a good way to grow and change and actually help people. So, speaking of Francesca, there is something on Twitter.
Okay, so he's going to address that video where that podcast was, where he said those really awful things about that dream he had. He claims it's not about Francesca. I'm not going to have that on this channel. I'm going to move on from that. He says it's about some other woman that was trying to hold him accountable. He says he refused to listen to anyone about anything about his jokes. He said for years people were telling him that he needed to tone it down, and he refused to listen to them. He claims that, that podcast was the bane of his existence, and he has so much content from that podcast that is so terrible because he was trying to be shocking and continually escalate things and more and more and more. And, it's frustrating. But this is the part I want to kind of...
Everyone, not just my family. I posted a stupid, weird family moment for everyone. I'm so sorry that I've had a lot of issues with my family, and I took that pain and I turned it into jokes. And I think instead of joking about them so much, I probably should have just went to therapy earlier and talked.
So he is explaining that all of these things that you're finding on the internet are because he has a bad relationship with his family, and he decided to put this content on the internet because he is got a bad family and he was hurt. So it's really hard because a lot of people have bad childhoods. A lot of people have bad childhoods. My husband had a very rough childhood, and my husband doesn't put this kind of content on the internet, and he's not a hateful person that makes fun of people. So, it's hard because you're I don't know, you can't say I hated everything, so I hurt everyone. That's really not an excuse. But he's saying he's not giving excuses, but he is giving excuses.
I swear on my life, I am not somebody who would ever talk about a child. In seriousness, I would never talk about a child in any way that was inappropriate. That is disgusting.
I said disconcerting. I didn't say disconcerting. Bubblish BH. I said disconcerting.
That is gross. It is not something I would ever do. It is something I did for shock value, or because I thought it was funny, or oh my god, my child molester character, or whatever. It's all gross, and I promise that is not real. That is not me. Have I done sketches where kids were saying crazy things? Yes. Do I regret it? Yes. Even I saw a vlog.
Okay, but here's the thing. He says that he regrets it, but this stuff is still on his channel. Why is this still on his channel if he regrets it? Why is he saying, like, I had kids do these things and I hurt people and I shouldn't have done it, but it's literally still on his channel, generating views in the algorithm, searchable, people can find it. There is a video called, like, the one that turned you gay, that's still on his channel, mind you, where he drops the F word and it's so bad, it has 9 million views.
Clip of me and my cousin who was, I don't know, probably 12 or 13 at the time, and we were, I was doing the birds and the bees talk, dumb gross shit. And I remember a few years ago I reached out to her mom, my aunt, and I was like, I'm so sorry, oh my god, I can't believe I did this, like, this is insane, I can't believe I talked to my cousin like that. And she was like, oh my god, we know, it's okay, it was funny, like, we all thought it was funny. Like,
no, it wasn't okay. So here's the problem is he and both Lisa, so Lisa was the other person that was in that video, and they both put out if he deleted it, it's been deleted recently. Anyways, both Lisa and him put out a statement about it, and they both say, well, they both consented to it. That doesn't change the fact that it shouldn't have happened to begin with. And just because your family says it's okay doesn't mean it's okay. There's a lot of things that families do that are literally not okay every day.
That's just how our family is. So I kind of took that as like, okay, well, then I don't need to apologize for it. But I do, because I posted it on the internet for everyone, not just my family. I posted like a stupid, weird family moment for everyone. I'm so sorry that...
The F word that I'm talking about is a slur that's used against gay men. Not the F-U-C-K word, the F word that you use to marginalize a people. Okay? I saw somebody saying that in the chat, so just so you know.
I was so thoughtless with things I was posting for so many years. I don't know, I wasn't thinking. I thought, oh, I'm in a weird category where I can say whatever I want. And I did. And now it's the biggest regret of my entire life. All of it. Now, even though my apologies in the past for all of these things have not been good enough, they've not been thought out, they've been very fear-based, they've been not good at all. I do want to say, since I've apologized for those things in the past, I have made a lot of changes in my life, changes in just every facet of me.
How have you made changes if your best friend up until recently was Jeffree Star, who is literally the most toxic human being? You've got Trisha at your side. How are you making changes when only a week ago you literally told a 21-year-old boy or young man who was 19 when all of this happened that he deserved it? And then this week you say, yeah, I was just being snarky. Yeah, I was just being, that was bad. That was wrong. That doesn't show growth. That doesn't show change. That shows like when you're backed into a corner and you feel like everyone is going at you, you are going to go for the jugular, you are going to get mean, and you are going to get nasty, and that's not changing. He literally made it seem as though what happened to James last year was deserving because he needed humble pie, and we're going to get to that part.
Has changed. I'm not just saying it. I'm not just saying, oh, I'm going to stop doing that, guys. I did stop doing that. I stopped doing that stuff years ago. I don't use any racial slurs in my life. I've never used a racial slur in anger, ever in my life. That is not me, that is...
I've never used it in anger. You shouldn't be using it, period. Hey, Repzilla. Repzilla and I have been having some, he's in chat. He has a channel. He's got about, I think, 144,000 subscribers. He and I have actually been talking about this today, and both of us are feeling kind of the same way about this. So welcome him to the chat. I told him I was going to be live, so I'm happy to see you here supporting us. But he shouldn't be saying them in a positive way. There's no good reason for anyone to use this language, period.
Never been me. I am not a hateful person. I am somebody who took jokes too far and was...
But he was hateful. So hateful. Like, I feel like in order for him to really grow, he's going to have to get offline and he needs to separate himself from these very toxic people that are in his life, because he's saying, I'm not a hateful person, and yet he's still put out that hateful content and that hateful letter to James. You have to actually show you're changing.
Really, really stupid and inappropriate. So all of those apologies, if you accept them, thank you. If you don't, I 100% understand, because there was a lot. And a lot of that is stuff that you probably will never forgive me for. And maybe you didn't know about all those old videos. I 100% understand. I'm willing to lose everything. At this point, realizing how many people I've hurt or how many people I've inspired to say awful things or do anything awful, like to finally just own up to all of this and be accountable is worth losing everything to me.
But he won't. Here's the thing, you guys. He's not going to lose anything. He's never been held responsible. And I made this a tweet out on my Twitter that the reason he has not been held responsible is because he is a white man. He has white privilege. He doesn't have to worry about being accountable. Think of it in this way. Jenna Marbles literally has like 3 or 4 videos that were like issues to people, and she left YouTube. You know what I mean? He has hundreds of videos that are awful, and he's like still has it on his content. Jenna was an adult and said, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be associated with this person. I don't even want to be connected to this channel anymore. And it was like, this is how someone shows that they've grown and they've changed. Jenna has repeatedly apologized and shows through action that she is changing, but he's not, to me, showing that he's changed.
And I am not saying that as like a lie or for sympathy. I'm being honest. I want to spend the rest of my life doing things that I love with my heart, that I'm excited about, and things that aren't hurting anyone, aren't offending anyone, and I want to learn more. And I don't want to be someone who's afraid of my past. So thank you for hearing me out on all of those.
So please delete all of that content, Shane. If this is where you're at, the only way that there's any sort of redemption here is like, no, and yes, it was Jenna's choice to leave. Like, no one told Jenna to leave. Like, there was no reason for Jenna to leave. Jenna decided to leave on her own. She wasn't canceled. Nobody canceled Jenna, but she decided to leave. And that's, you know, that's admirable. That's admirable. If you are in a situation like that and you know you've done that, it's admirable. So now we're going to go into, is he deleting it? I hope he's deleting it. If he does delete it, I want to see a humongous loss on his social blade, because when I checked earlier, there was not any deleted videos. He hasn't deleted anything off of his main channel this week. He has a positive 31 million views on his channel, Shane Dawson. He did get rid of over 200 million on his other channel, but there's still a lot of incredibly problematic stuff on his old channel.
I promise I'm going to do better to even more so educate myself, put more people on my channel that aren't just white YouTubers in trouble. Like that, I'm totally aware of how that looks. Somebody pointed that out to me a couple years ago and I got really defensive over it. And now I'm looking back going, no, they're right. If you look at my channel, it's a bunch of white people and talking about their problems. And I love a lot of those videos and I'm so proud of those videos, but you're right.
You know what the funny thing is that all of those people that are on his channel are like literally some of the most problematic people on YouTube. Tana, Jake Paul, Jeffree Star, you know, like. Anyways, I'm going to try to.
When there's something that.
Let me see if I can find it where he talks about James.
But it was also supposed to be funny. It just was.
Okay, here, now he's going to talk about the letter to James.
You look at my channel, it's a bunch of white people and talking about their problems. And I love a lot of them. I wrote it in, I had a restock.
Okay, he brings up his restock, which is super irritating. He brings up his restock, which, by the way, is still not sold out. His restock is not sold out, and he's bringing it up here.
Address it, talking about the James and Tati situation. I was just going to ignore it, and then when I started hearing, oh, Shane mastermind the whole thing, It didn't sit well with me because it's not true. So when I finally addressed it, I wrote this Twitter note, which was such a mistake. I wrote it I had a restock for the conspiracy collection, and I woke up and I felt really weird. Like, we had been pushing the restock for so long that we finally had to do it. And when I woke up and it was out, I just felt so weird. I felt so guilty. I didn't want to I couldn't enjoy it. I didn't want to enjoy this restock when there's something that I haven't addressed that people are really, really upset at me for it. So I sat down.
Why is he talking about his restock so many times? How many times did he say restock? Like, who cares about your stupid restock? Literally nobody cares. Your conspiracy palette is ugly. Cheeto dust should never be the name of an eyeshadow. Okay, that was just my own gripe.
I wrote that essay, which I wrote it to be funny. It didn't come across that way. It came across very angry, which it was, but it was also supposed to be funny. It just was a huge miss in every single way. So the part of the...
So he's like trying to claim that whole letter that he wrote, that entire letter where he called James like all of these terrible things and then like called all of the gurus names. Like, if you remember those names he used, arrogant, narcissistic, attention seeking, like he had this like long list with no commas. Shane doesn't know how to use commas. And he says that's funny. So if he literally in his brain thinks that is funny, that's not changed to me, because there was nothing funny about that letter. There was not one part of that letter where I thought, ha 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 ha, he's being funny. It felt like he was angry.
Note that I regret more than anything in my life was the part where I said that James deserved...
Whoa. He regrets this more than anything in his life. How dramatic could this be? He doesn't regret the stuff about the kids more than anything in his life or all the other stuff. This is what he regrets more than anything in his life. This.
A slice of humble pie the size of the Empire State Building. I only want to talk about this situation with love because I feel like that note had so much anger in it. It was just not good. And so I'm going to come at this situation by first apologizing. I'm sorry, James. I'm really sorry. First of all, nobody deserves what happened. Nobody. The whole internet ganging up on someone. Nobody deserved that. And who am I to say that somebody needs to be humbled? Me. Like, who am I to say that? I literally have put so much hate onto the internet over my last 15 years of YouTube world. Like, I have put so much shit, and I'm sitting here like, well, because I changed and because I'm nice and this and that, like, yeah, you need to be humbled. It's like, that sucks. I hate that. That was so immature and gross, and I'm so...
And that was a week ago. That was a week ago. A week ago. It was humiliating. It was immature. Did the TV channel has all their videos deleted? Okay, if he deleted everything off of that TV channel, that is brand new, because I was pulling videos off of that channel this afternoon. So if he got rid of all of that stuff, I am happy that that's gone. There's still stuff on his regular channel that's still a problem.
Sorry. And I know a lot of people were saying that, well, why did you say you're leaving the beauty community? You were never in it. And you're right. I don't know why I said that. That was stupid. I was never in the beauty world, because a lot of the beauty people that I watch, and I'm not just saying that, I think a lot of people think I'm lying when I say I really love the makeup world and I'm really invested in it. I'm not lying. For the last year, I've been watching beauty channels every day. My whole homepage is just beauty channels, and it's smaller ones. So to know that...
You know what pisses me off about his statement is Raw Beauty Christie literally is like the most unproblematic beauty influencer. She is like the sweetest human being. She literally is pregnant now for after years and years and years of infertility. She is not dramatic like this. And like, he categorized everyone as though it's like those 4 people. And that's not fair to the rest of these people that are busting their butts.
I hurt those people who aren't problematic and who just love makeup and who have been working their ass off for years. For me to shit on that, I am so sorry. Also, I'm aware of how hypocritical it is for me to say I'm above this tea and drama channels and drama, and I'm not like that, and that is so stupid. It's so dumb. At that moment, I was so upset with certain things. It was just me being upset. And it is hypocritical. I mean, I watch drama videos, but when it's about me, oh, now it's a problem. Like, and I'm aware of how hypocritical that is, and I'm so sorry. This is a huge one. I'm aware that I hold my friends or people I care about to a lower standard than I hold other people. That's wrong, and I'm so sorry. I think I get.
So that's like him loosely saying that he is holding Jeffrey lower in standard than he would to James. Which, can I just make a statement here, is that James he has absolutely stayed out of drama since all of this has happened. He launched that series, and it was just picked up for a second season. He continues to put out just sort of like bubbly, uplifting content. He is positive. He doesn't cause a lot of problems on the platform. Does he say stupid stuff every once in a while? Yes. He's literally 21 years old. But it's, it's so frustrating. Like, I wish I could tell you what I know about behind the scenes, but I've been sworn that I can't. I just was told that there's so much more to the story, and it was so much darker than what we saw, and I hope the people will actually say these things eventually. I don't know if they will, but
attached to people who have a heart, and maybe it's covered in a lot of stuff, and maybe they have a lot of issues, but I almost feel like I am attracted to other broken people who have issues, and I want to help them, I want to fix them, or I want to help people see a better side of them. And I'm aware that I'm friends with some people that have done some bad things on the internet, and I don't condone it, and I don't co-sign it, and that is something that I've always addressed with them privately. I'm ready to own up to this stuff, and I'm ready to hopefully show you guys that it's okay to admit when you're wrong.
Okay. Yes, I heard you guys. You want me to tell you. Want me to tell you the tea. I have promised the people I've talked to that I will not say a word until they are ready to say it themselves. It's not my story to tell. I have spoken with people involved, though, just so you know. So I'm like wanting to have the truth come out. I did a video earlier this week. I think that, Tati keeps teasing that she's going to say something. The problem here is, like, I don't think that, like, it would ever matter. Even if Jeffrey literally would come out and say that he did orchestrate this, everyone already knows he did. And, you have large influencers that are sitting on a treasure trove of things about Jeffrey that nobody is releasing. And, I'm hearing that it's because people are scared of him. Like, people have told me they are literally scared of him. Scared of what he would do, scared of being hurt, scared of having their lives be ended. And so I don't know if that is what is preventing people from speaking out, but, like, you cannot allow someone to be so powerful that you allow one person to dictate what the platform says about him. I don't believe that Shane masterminded this whole thing. I don't believe that. I believe that Jeffrey is like the mastermind behind everything and everyone else is his puppet. But in terms of Shane, like, my mom would always tell me growing up, like, you are attracted to the kind of people that you put in your life is a reflection of who you are. So if you are surrounding yourself with people that are doing good things and have good hearts and are good people, that's, you are a good-hearted, good people kind of person. If you are surrounding yourself with people that are broken, that are vindictive, that are nasty, that are hurtful, that are doing things that are mean and evil and awful, you're not attracted to that person for, because you are going to co-sign that because you literally would not want to hang out with that person if you were a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for us to have friends that make mistakes, but it's not okay for us to have friends that repeatedly make mistakes. And I think I've learned a lot in my age. I'm a little bit older than some of you guys, and I'm not trying to like tell you anything, but I feel like you can 100% cut people off. You can. You don't need to surround yourself with people that hurt other people. The older you get, generally, the smaller your circle becomes. The amount of people that you want in your life is lower because you literally don't want to put up with BS. And that's okay. I will say that overall, the response on Twitter has been very low for this response. I did a poll. Let me just check where the poll is at. I did a poll this afternoon, and I had, let me see how many people have voted so far. Okay, we have 152 votes, and it's, do you forgive him? 15% say he has changed. 41% say he has hurt too many people, and 44% are going to wait to see if there is action with his words. So he still has the majority of people at this point in time that are going to wait to see. And then he has the majority, he still has the majority in his favor because only 40% of the people are done. So he's got 59% of the people are either going to forgive him or going to give him the benefit of the doubt and allow him to change. And nobody here is here to like cancel someone. I'm just saying, like, if you really want to grow up and you want to be a different person, you literally have to be a different person. You have to start making better choices altogether. Birds of a feather flock together. Correct, Denisha. Thank you so much for your super chats. You're going to wait as well. So CD Recovery says that she is going to wait as well. What is the attraction to Jeremy Starr? Simon says that Shane is just really stupid. Garden Girl says these numbers are astonishing. Amanda says if it wasn't an actual cash grab, donate the money you made off of the pallet and give it to a charitable cause. You know, that might be something you guys can encourage him to do. This has been one of the things that has sort of bothered me is that all of them made a lot of money on this drama. He teased the Dramageddon for his palette launch, which the whole thing that he did this past fall was like an infomercial for his palette. And then he didn't put it in there, right? And then he made millions off of it. So why don't we encourage him to donate money? I have a pinned post on my Twitter right now, and I'm encouraging all of my subscribers to donate to the Trevor Project, which helps save lives in the LGBTQ+. We know that James Charles was pushed to that point, and had he not been with his friends, he would have made an irreversible choice, and absolutely no one should ever have to feel like that. And the Trevor Project does so much to help people. I actually made a donation early this month to the Trevor Project. You can check out my Twitter, and it has the link directly to donate. They have amazing programs to help people. And, you know, he won't donate anything, says Nikki Russell. He's not forgiven, says Tiffany Morrison. How would I like to see the situation go going forward? I can't and won't forgive him. Truthfully, Shane doesn't post very much on YouTube, right? So it's not a matter of him having a wide presence. He has a very large fan base, like he has millions of subscribers. But up until his recent video, he had not posted anything on the channel in like 6 months. So to say like I don't want him to be as present, it wouldn't matter because he isn't that present on YouTube anymore. I mean, he is on Ryland's channel, right? But honestly, I would say like if he really wants to be a different person, he needs to take time away. He needs to get off of YouTube. He needs to stop creating. He needs to actually get away from the madness. This world of content creating is a rat race, and it is nonstop, and sometimes you just don't even have time to even collect your thoughts. So he really needs to collect his thoughts. He needs to listen to the people that he hurt. He needs to truly understand that what he's done. I would hope that he gets himself into some therapy. I would hope that he has a therapist that can tell him that he has destructive friendships. I would hope that he doesn't use Katie Morton as his therapist. By the way, Katie Morton is not a psychologist, and she doesn't specialize in treating people like Shane. So, get a real therapist. Don't use a YouTube therapist, Shane. The best thing I can say from my experience is I was once making mistakes, and I went into therapy, and it was literally the best thing I ever did, and I have been a lot better of a person. You can learn coping skills. You can do a whole lot better for yourself. And you can realize what it is that you're hurting. I would hope that all of the content that has been hurtful is deleted. I would hope that Jeffree Star just leaves YouTube and altogether. Jeffree is so awful. I just cannot stand him. Can I do a video on who? I need therapy and friends. Okay, Hannah, I want to be your best friend. So why don't you DM me? All right. Here's the funny thing is I don't need to be outrageous. I don't need to be outrageous. We'll be best friends, and I would rather have less views than be on a planet where I'm doing blackface. But Pink Geek 80, thank you so much for becoming a member. Ulrika Lindbach, thank you for your super chat. REB, thank you for your super chat. Amanda, thank you for your super chat. Valerie Miller, thank you for Valerie Miller says damage control, that is all that this is. REB says there's a difference between being sorry and being sorry you were caught. Sunny Bum says bless you, Katie. Oh, thanks, Sunny Bum, love you, girl. Stacy says, before I accept anyone's apology, I will wait to see how their actions speak. He's released his apology video. That does not fix everything immediately. Jackie says, good job. And Denisha says, new sub, birds of a feather flock together. Wayne's World says, I'm very upset. He erased all of the videos I grew up watching. He was my hero. Now I can't look at him. Oh, see, I feel like some people that did grow up with him are going to be this is going to be really hard, really heartbroken. And my biggest thing, thank you for your super chat, Wayne, is that I just want people to know that behavior is just not okay, period. It wasn't okay in 2011. No matter, I can't express this enough. What he was doing 10 years ago wasn't acceptable 10 years ago. It wasn't. It was not acceptable. It's not acceptable today, but it wasn't acceptable 10 years ago, period. It wasn't acceptable when I was a kid. So it's never been acceptable in my lifetime. So I just don't understand how we can say that it's because it was 10 years old. It was literally never acceptable. Okay. I am sad about Jenna. I hope Jenna, thank you, Emma, for becoming a member. He needs serious therapy and to grow up. Sadly, I don't think he will learn. Yeah, I don't know if he will either. He was using being in the closet as an excuse. How can you follow him if you are in the LGBTQ? How? I've lived in the closet, and I definitely did not act like that ever. So, ever. Believe it or not, the chat is on slow mode. That's just how many of you guys are talking right now. It is on slow mode right now. Glitter says, I'm almost 40 and it's never been acceptable, just sick. Okay. He's a big man child. All right, you guys, that's all I've got. I'm actually super hot. I want to take off this shirt so bad, but I'm in like a really bad tank top because I was working out, you guys. I was working out. I'm like sweaty. I was in my workout gear. Okay. Yeah. So this is just me being like, I was sweaty and gross and came online. Isn't that amazing? I came online and got sweaty and gross with you. Thank you guys to all of my friends that have stopped by. You know, a lot of you were talking about drama channels. I just want to say something. There are channels out there that might be considered drama that I think are actually really good channels that don't do the whole narrative that some of these beauty channels do, you know, like Nick and Dustin and Ashley and all of them. There are some other really good content creators if you like to stay up to beat on about what's happening. Like Repzilla, and you've got Ready to Glare, Creepshow Art. Def Noodles is, oh my god, I was dying laughing while I was working out. I was watching his video on Nikocado Avocado, and I was laughing so hard I had to stop working out because he kept changing how he said Nikocado, and he said Nikocado Constipado. Nikocado Constipado. I was like, I couldn't stop laughing. Sloan, there's a lot of good content creators that do really good work that are not, you know, petty or mean. So, you know, you don't have, please don't lump everyone in the same category. And Unirock, yes, Unirock too. I love Unirock. There's just a lot of really good creators and that are thoughtful. I have had the opportunity to get to know Def Noodles and Repzilla and Sloan, and I know Unirock very well. Like, these are all good people. I've also had the chance to talk to Ready to Glare she started following me. So there's good people out there. I know, his Nikocado videos are so funny. My favorite thing in his videos is, he's like, he always goes, and this is in a new segment I call This is Ridiculous. And it's like every single episode he says that. In a new segment I call This is Ridiculous. And it's like, it's always something so dumb, but he always says it's a brand new segment. It will never get old to me because I have such slapstick humor. And like, his kind of humor is the kind of humor that doesn't hurt people. Peter Mon, yeah, I like Peter Mon too. He's like a little bit older and he just sort of tells it like it is. Yeah. Kiwi says, all I have to say is that Shane said he was apology, but saying it directly doesn't change what he's done in the past. Oh my god, the videos on Orlin and Nick where they were fighting. I was laughing so hard. I could not stop laughing about his Orlin and Nick. And then I watched his recap of Dramageddon with James, Tati, Shane, and Jeffrey, and I was laughing so hard because he was like, and then they all went on vacation to the Poconos. Oh wait, got my timeline wrong. Like, it was so funny. He is so funny. And I love how his glasses, like, they don't have any, they're just like props. Yeah. Def Noodles is by far one of my favorite channels right now. If I want a good laugh, that's where I go. All right. No one is ever going to collab with Jeffree Star again. Hope so. He's toxic for sure. What do I think Ryland will do? I have no idea. I get gold digger vibes from Ryland. I don't know. I don't know what Ryland's going to do. I don't know what anyone's going to do. Yeah. So Sloan is okay. You don't have to be a fan. So Def Noodles doesn't do the, as hard hitting stuff. All of his stuff is funny. All right, you guys. I'll be back. Bye.